Hi there, I'm David Hunt, owner of GameMasters Guild, and today, well, I thought I'd have a little fun and I'd crack some packs. What I'm going to crack packs of? Well, you'd think maybe I'd crack packs of Commander Legends, but I just don't have enough of that to go around. So right now, I'm going to crack a box of M20. Why? Just because I can. Let's crack one of these open and find out what we got. All right, so I'm getting ready to crack a box of M20. Now, I didn't mention it earlier, but another reason why I decided to crack a box of M20 is because I still have several boxes of M20. So I figured what a great set to use for my first video, especially since I've never made a video about cracking packs for YouTube before. So we'll see what happens. Now what I went ahead and did is to keep this video short, I went ahead and cracked the packs, and in the upper right hand corner of your screen you can see where I'm actually opening up the booster box and actually physically cracking the packs and going through them at a pretty steady rate. And I do them upside down because for me, when I'm cracking packs for the store, it's easy for me to go through, grab the rares and pull them out real quick, so that way it's super quick sorted. Because I'm not even interested in what the name of the card is, I'm not interested in mechanics, I'm interested in pulling the rares. So that's why I'm cracking them in the way that I am. And then again, I put that video in the upper right hand corner of the screen. That way you can watch me crack the packs while you see the results of the cracking of the packs. And also too, to save on the length of this video. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what I've got for rares in this. Alright, so for my booster box of M20, not surprisingly, I pulled a lot of dollar rares. And I really feel the dollar rare is kind of the workhorse of the Magic world, especially for the casual kitchen table player. Because dollar rares are pretty neat. They have a lot of variety, and they're easy to afford. You can go into a store, you can drop 20 bucks, get 20 or more of these cool dollar rares, and play a good game of Magic. Now obviously if you're a highly competitive player, you're trying to play within the meta, a lot of these rares are not going to be for you. But for the rest of us, myself included, because I really don't count myself as a competitive player, they're definitely nice, they're a good filler, and you can have a really great time and good fun with them. Plus, again, they're easy on the pocketbook, and if you know a younger player that's getting into Magic, this is right where you need to steer them, is the dollar rare. And so often are these rares accessible to people that experienced players will even hand off a stack of these dollar rares to newer players, just so that way they can get their decks up and running. Now if you're buying booster boxes of Magic in order to resell, well, Core 2020 is probably not going to be one of those boxes you're going to buy. If you're looking just to add to your collection, to have more cards and more variety to play, well, M20 is just as good as any other set. And even if you're a competitive player, what's nice about dollar rares is they give you some extra trade fodder. And so a lot of people will just throw them in their binder anyways, just so they got them to trade with younger players or older players who are new to the game, who are just getting into it, because they're not sure, these new players, they're not going to be sure if they're going to be playing in the competitive scene, so anything is kind of ideal to them, especially if they've got one single $40 card that you want. If you drop 60 rares in front of them, they might very well swap you. They see it's a really good deal, and for you, you're just getting rid of cards that are dead weight anyways, so really it's kind of a win-win situation. But again, if you're trying to buy a booster box to turn around and make your money on, this M20 is definitely not the box for you. But let's move on and take a look at what other cards I got in M20. Okay, so next up are my $2 rares, and I only got 6, starting with Kalia, the Zenith Seeker, got Knight of the Ebon Legion, Shared Summons, Bishop of Wings, Chandra, Acolyte of Flame, Planeswalker, that was cool, nice pull, a foil Marauding Raptor, and he's of course $2. Earlier you saw me pull a regular Marauding Raptor, and he's only $1. And as you can see, a foil can easily double the price of a card, and if it's a very sought after card, a high-end card, that price can skyrocket. Now, there's 36 packs in a booster box of Magic the Gathering, in a typical booster box, in a draft booster box. And already I've got 24 rares out of a total of 37 rares, because I ended up, again, getting one extra rare, that foil Marauding Raptor, in with another one. So from a dealer standpoint, I don't have a whole lot of money-making potential in this particular box. Again, cool for newer players getting into Magic, but at the same time, I'm kind of looking for some stuff with a little more monetary weight to it. But however, that's how it is. It's kind of like gambling. So let's move on and see what else I got. Okay, so now I've got my $3 rares. Grafdigger's Cage, which I think used to be pretty expensive, and everybody used to really look for it. I think it's still pretty popular, though. I've got Villas, I got Leyline of Sanctity, so that's pretty cool. 3, not so bad, $3 rares, I suppose. Not so bad, at least from my standpoint, because of $3 instead of only 1. Now, of course, this is an average. You know, I think one of those might be like $2.50, and I kind of rounded up to $3 or $2.75, something like that. But they're all right in that ballpark. So let's see what else I've got. All right, so let's take a look at my $4 rares. First, I got Voracious Hydra, and then followed up by the Mystic Forge. Ooh, and then we have a Planeswalker, Mu Yanling, Sky Dancer. That makes 2 Planeswalkers in this box so far. And the Rotting Regisaur. All right, those are my $4 rares. And I feel when I hit the $4 or $5 mark for price on rares, to me that's kind of the meat and potatoes of singles, just because it's not so expensive that players who are new to the game can't afford it, can't take a chance on it, because once a new player starts getting into the game, they don't mind spending a little bit more money on singles. And $4 or $5 isn't too bad. $1, they'll do that all day long. $4 or $5, you know, they're still a little leery, but they'd be more than happy to spend $4 or $5. They're enjoying the game, they're having a good time, they want to raise their competitive level. $4 or $5 card is typically, generally, I know a lot of people are going to probably hem and haw at me at this, but the $4 or $5 cards are going to be just a little bit better than some of those dollar rares. Not always, but therefore they're more expensive than dollar rares for a reason. So these guys won't mind so much. And also too, competitive players usually take note of these $4 and $5 cards. It seems like these cards seem to get a little more traffic than the dollar rares, because they tend to be a little more useful, hence their increased price. Now I know it's kind of a generalization talking about, you know, a more expensive card is better than a cheaper card, but that's not necessarily true. It's kind of a generalization, I know, but it's just kind of been my general experience in the shop. So don't beat me up too much on that. All right, so let's move on and see what other rares I got. Coming up next here is Cavalier of Flame. He's the only actual $5 card that I got in this entire box, M20. And again, he is one of those meat and potatoes kind of cards. He's got a good solid price, and I can make a decent bid on him. Here's Golos, Tireless Pilgrim. He's a $6 card. And again, a good solid card with a good solid price point that I'll probably be able to sell in a reasonable amount of time. All right, and finally, I'm down to my last 4 cards, and these last 4 cards are the highest priced cards that I got out of this entire box of M20. So let's go ahead and take a look at these first 2. Okay, so my 2 $7 cards are Vivian Arcbow Ranger and Lotus Field. All right, and another Planeswalker, super cool. There are only, I think there's 2 more Planeswalkers that I didn't get, which is Sorin and a Johnny. And I'm happy to pull Vivian and Lotus Field at least. $7 cards, not too bad. And now I've got, something in the double digits. Leyline of the Void. All right, so I got that. I always like getting cards that are worth double digits, because it just gives me a little more breathing room when I'm making sales. Especially when I'm trying to sell Core 2020, because there's a lot of low-end priced cards. And then Field of the Dead. This is the highest priced card in the set, and it's mid-December 2020. This card's going for about $18. And Field of the Dead is the highest priced card, so I did pull the highest priced card of the set, because as of mid-December 2020, it's tracking right around $18, just a couple bucks higher than Soren, just a few more dollars higher than a Johnny, and probably about $5 higher than Omnath, which is also in the set. Now I did not pull Omnath, Soren, or a Johnny. Wouldn't have expected to. That would have been really super lucky. Maybe in your box, but certainly not in mine. Okay, so if you're looking to buy a booster box of M20 and try to make a few bucks on the side, maybe selling on eBay or Amazon, it's going to be pretty tight. And I don't think it's going to be worth your money to try to do that. If you just want some extra cards to play for the game, oh man, go ahead and buy it. It's not going to hurt you none. But if you're looking to resell, this box definitely isn't for you. I mean, let's take a look at it. Even from a retailer standpoint, and obviously I get it cheaper than the public, but at the same time, I pulled 37 rares, and out of those 37 rares, if I add up the potential retail value, it's only a $109 box. Now, that's a pretty slim margin, whether or not I sell the box for $114.99, $124.99, or if I try to sell these singles, I'm actually going to do less. I'm actually better off selling the box as a box, selling it by the pack. Cracking a box for singles, just usually, well, it depends on the set, but cracking a box of Core 2020 for singles isn't a super good option for me. I did it just because I wanted to, and I thought it'd be cool just to make a video on it. It's my first box I'm cracking. I figured, hey, box 2020, can't hurt none. But again, if you're looking to make some money on it, pretty slim margin. You're definitely going to want to save your money for Commander Legends, which just got a reprint, but still already it's getting hard to get hands on. Kaldheim's coming up, so hopefully there'll be some cool stuff in there. And of course, that's generally speaking, don't have a lot of super value to them, although there have been some anomalies in the past. All right, well, I think that's pretty much it then. Okay, so there you have it, a box of M20. Now, your results, if you open a box, may be different than mine. You may do better, you may do worse. I kind of consider what I did probably not too bad for a box of M20, maybe slightly above average, but overall, I don't think it was a real bad pull. And there are a lot of other cool cards in the set, some commons and uncommons, but I only want to touch upon the rares, just because there's so many cards, this video would be unnecessarily long. But overall, not too bad. Now, as time goes on, some of these prices might go up. Some of them might also drop depending on the current meta and what's hot and what's not, and potentially what gets banned. Hopefully nothing from M20 would ever get banned, but you never know, and maybe there's something is right now, and I'm just not thinking of it. But if you know, let me know down in the comments. And if you have any other questions or suggestions, please feel free to comment in the suggestions. And as always, I'm Dave Hunt, owner of GameMasters Guild, telling you to stay safe, play great games, and we'll see you real soon.